Welcome to a brand new episode of the Jampack Report today for August the 4th of 2020. Of course, my name is Samuel Adams and this is a daily gaming news podcast meant to bring you the hottest news you need to know from around the industry. Hosted on YouTube and podcast services around the world 5 days a week, it is your one-stop shop for everything you need to know. So if you enjoy the show and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and keep coming back for more. However, we got some very big news coming out of the PlayStation camp today in a variety of ways, but first and foremost, PlayStation software and services were driving a strong Q1 for Sony. The figures are in, and COVID-19 certainly did pump those numbers up in terms of software and services especially. In the 3 months ending on June 30th, 2020, Sony's Games and Network Services division earned 660 trillion yen, about $5.7 billion in revenue, up 32% year on year. Operating income for the period was roughly $1.2 billion, up 68% over the same quarter last year. Hardware was predictably weak, so close to a new generation of consoles, with only 1.9 million units of PlayStation 4 sold during the quarter, down from 3.2 million in fiscal Q1 last year. PlayStation 4 hardware has now sold 112.3 million units overall. PlayStation's real strength was in software, with The Last of Us Part 2 the clear highlight of the quarter. Naughty Dog's game had sold 4 million units by June 21st, and Sony did not update that figure in its results. The company's first-party games sold 18.5 million units during the quarter, a significant chunk of the 91 million PS4 games sold overall. These figures were dramatically up year on year, with the COVID-19 lockdown a likely reason for the difference. In fiscal Q1 last year, only 49.8 million PS4 games were sold, while PlayStation first-party software sold 11.7 million units. According to Sony, 74% of full game sales were digital compared to 53% in the same quarter last year. Again, the COVID-19 lockdown is a major factor in that difference. PlayStation Plus also saw a significant rise during the quarter, adding 8.7 million subscribers in the space of a year to reach 44.9 million. Indeed, PlayStation Plus added 3.4 million users over the prior quarter, among the largest quarter-over-quarter increases in the history of the monthly subscription service. Sony also disclosed PlayStation Network's monthly active users for the first time, 113 million during fiscal Q1, and it will continue to do so every quarter from now on. This is redolent of a similar shift in the way Xbox reported key metrics back in 2016 to reflect its increasing focus on services rather than individual product sales. Regarding the imminent launch of the PlayStation 5, Sony assured its investors that the COVID-19 lockdown had no major impact on its plans and that the holiday 2020 window is still going to be hit. So let's go ahead and talk about some of these numbers. First and foremost, the biggest of them all, in my opinion, is the PlayStation Plus subscriber count, adding 8.7 million subscribers in the space of a year to reach 44.9 million. That is 3.4 million users added over the course of a quarter. Whenever COVID-19 hit and everybody began to get locked down, the lack of social interaction immediately drove a lot of people to re-up on those PlayStation Plus subscriptions, and I would guess you probably saw something similar on the Xbox side with Xbox Live Gold. That's kind of a no-brainer, but that's very impressive to see. Additionally, it is worth mentioning the PlayStation Plus has always had, in terms of the console wars, if you will, the better freebies for their service. PlayStation Plus games have always traditionally outshone those offered by Xbox. For instance, this month it is Fall Guys, a brand new game, and Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered, a very highly anticipated first-person shooter that launched earlier this year. Now, the other big figure here is the 112.3 million units sold overall for the PlayStation 4. This does put it, if you compare the timelines of every console, ahead of the PlayStation 2. However, I don't think this is going to outsell the lifetime sales of the PlayStation 2 by any stretch of the imagination, because the PlayStation 2 had a very long tail. For those that were not around or playing games during that time, the PlayStation 2 dug deeply into the PlayStation 3's generation and solidified itself as somewhat of an entry-level gaming system. On top of that, the fact that the DVD player was built into the PlayStation 2 made it kind of a mainstay in a lot of homes between 2000 and 2015, I would even say. But all of that to the side, the PlayStation 4 is continuing to track very well, but I am very curious as to what the hardware sales would have been for the quarter had COVID-19 not hit. With 1.9 million units of the PlayStation 4 sold during the quarter, that is more than likely up as compared to what it would have been. By how much, that is still yet to be determined. 500,000, a million, who really knows? But the sales are certainly down, and for good reason. The PlayStation 5 is just over the horizon, which is certainly going to be a very big seller this holiday season. Needless to say, digital games were on the rise because of COVID-19. I can confirm that I have bought more digital games over the course of the past 6 months than I probably have in my entire gaming life. That's just the nature of the beast. I don't want to go in the store right now. I do buy games on Amazon occasionally if the physical version is available, but I'm not going to bust any bones about it. I will buy it digitally if need be. So all of this to say, Sony is still absolutely dominating, even number one late into the life cycle of their main flagship console, and number two in the midst of a coronavirus pandemic. But Take-Two has made a statement about the next generation, saying that $70 is not the new normal, but the prices are set on a game-by-game basis. As part of Take-Two's post-earnings call, where the publisher announced a record Q1 and strong revenue from its online games, the company was asked about its decision to price NBA 2K21 for $70 on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. CEO Strauss Zelnick explained that while it believes the price hike is long overdue, it does not want to commit to $70 as the base price for all of its games going forward. Prices, according to Zelnick, are set on a game-by-game basis. Quote, I would just observe there has not been a frontline price increase for a very long time, although costs have increased significantly, Zelnick told investors. But most importantly, we believe we are delivering the highest quality titles in the business and consumers are staying more engaged than ever. Games have extraordinary playability and replayability, and they offer many, many hours of entertainment. We think it's a great value. It does rely on our continuing to deliver amazing experiences, and that is our strategy and our goal. In an interview with GamesIndustry.biz ahead of the earnings call, Zelnick clarified that this is not a coordinated move by all publishers, only that it's one that makes the sense for Take-Two. Obviously, we don't speak for the industry, and the industry naturally does not coordinate on these matters, to say the very least, he said. And from our point of view, it is an extremely modest price change, given that prices have not changed for a very long time. Indeed, no other publisher has yet to commit to $70. Ubisoft, for instance, confirmed that, at least for now, its 2020 next-gen games will cost the standard $60. With that said, reports indicate that some are already considering raising the price to $70, but Take-Two's position on this is significant not only because it commands some of the biggest franchises in gaming, but also because it owns multiple publishing labels of varying sizes. In other words, it has the reach and power to normalize $70 as the new standard. And that, my friends, is the biggest point that I want to make from this story. Take-Two is a very significant company in the gaming industry, and if they did want to will $70 to become the new norm, they very well could. That is entirely possible. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I am somebody who is very, very cheap for those that don't know. Do I want to pay $70 for a game? No. When was the last time that I paid a full $60 for a game? I suppose The Last of Us Part 2, but before that, I would always and will always wait for a sale or find some kind of coupon or find it on sale at Target or wait for it to be on the clearance rack, depending on what kind of game it is. I enjoy getting a good deal. And $70 is a lot of money, but I do think that a lot of the games that come out today are justifiably priced at $70, or they could justifiably be priced at $70 because of the amount of content and the quality of the final product. I would have no problem paying $70 for God of War. I would have no problem paying $70 for The Last of Us Part 2. These are very, very significant games that are, by all means, masterpieces in a lot of different ways. On the Xbox side of things, Halo Infinite is a game that is supposedly, hypothetically, going to set the foundation for Halo games for the next 10 years. That warrants a $70 purchase. Now, will DLC come later? Almost 100% so. Will season passes come later? Almost 100% so. So whenever it comes time for publishers and developers to figure out how they want to price their games, all of these numbers have to be crunched. What kind of post-launch money flow do you expect? What kind of season passes will you insert into the game? What kind of additional value do you expect to provide, and what is the value of that in terms of your finances? These are all questions that have to be asked before a final price is set, but it is very interesting to see that each publisher is taking a different approach. Now, my question is, will we actually be able to justify $70 for a game like NBA 2K21? Will the difference really be that noticeable? And I suppose we will have to wait till this fall and see. But very exciting times. Whether you are a fan of the new price increase or a normal person, I suppose we can just look forward to seeing what comes of it. But speaking of Take-Two, GTA 5 has hit 135 million units sold, and a standalone GTA Online is coming, and it will be free on PS5 at launch. Take-Two Interactive just posted their Q1 2021 fiscal results, financial results, however you want to break it down, and like most other big publishers, they had a very good 3 months as COVID-19 kept consumers at home. As usual, the biggest moneymaker was Grand Theft Auto 5, which has now sold over 135 million copies. During their last earnings report, Take-Two announced GTA 5 had sold 130 million copies, meaning it sold an additional 5 million units during Q1 2021, which is more than any other quarter since the game's launch in 2013. Hot on the heels of its latest success, Take-Two has revealed some more information about their upcoming GTA 5 related plans. As previously announced, GTA 5 is coming to next-gen consoles in the second half of calendar year 2021, with a range of technical improvements, visual upgrades, and performance enhancements to take full advantage of the latest hardware. Take-Two has also revealed that Grand Theft Auto Online will be getting a next-gen exclusive update and content, as well as a new standalone release. It seems this version, we're getting very foreign. It seems this version of GTA Online won't be free to play, although PlayStation 5 owners will be able to download it for free for 3 months following its release. In the meantime, all PlayStation Plus subscribers will get $1 million GTA dollars for every month they play the game until its PS5 launch. It has not yet been revealed which platforms the standalone version of GTA Online will be releasing on, although presumably it is coming to PC, Xbox Series X, and PS5. Hopefully, a current-gen console release is also in the cards. GTA 5 is also currently available on PC, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, and PS4. This game will outlive us all. I must admit, this is getting just a bit irritating. We have seen GTA 5 since I kid you not, was I believe, junior in high school. I graduated high school in 2015, which means that GTA 5 had been out for 2 years before I even graduated high school. At this point, I have been graduated from college for over a year. I now have been in 2 different apartments that I have paid for entirely on my own, and I have worked 3 different jobs. It is time to move on. It is time for a Grand Theft Auto 6. I am really tired of seeing Michael, Franklin, and Trevor doing their thing. Now, GTA Online, a bit of a different story because that continues to grow and evolve. But you really need to stop milking this cow because I'm getting really sick of this same milk. And that was a really gross way to say that. But regardless, it is still selling very, very well. So I suppose when it still continues to have nearly record-breaking months, then why would they invest in making a new Grand Theft Auto game? Because it just continues to sell and sell and sell and continue selling on to where Take-Two can price their NBA game at $70 and not really have to worry about any kind of potential backlash. However, we have a follow-up from yesterday's story. Of course, we talked about the big Spider-Man controversy and Marvel's Avengers being exclusive to PlayStation 4 and 5. But Spider-Man is coming to Marvel's Avengers as a PlayStation exclusive, and there is now more exclusive content. In another burst of news that is sure to vex Xbox and PC players, Sony has shared details of yet more Avengers PlayStation exclusives, including special in-game events, rewards, and 30 days of early access to certain cosmetics for all heroes. Following yesterday's news that Spider-Man will be a PlayStation exclusive when he joins the Avengers roster next year, Square Enix has revealed that PlayStation owners will also get 30 days exclusive access to a legendary outfit, emote, epic takedown, and nameplate for every new hero upon their release. This includes all 6 base game heroes. Additionally, as outlined in a new blog post introducing the game's community challenges, essentially events that require players to work together on a large scale to accomplish a goal and earn rewards, developer Crystal Dynamics has confirmed it is prepping a series of community challenges that will only be available for PlayStation players. And that's still not all. PlayStation Plus subscribers will receive a free bundle containing a rare outfit, nameplate, and 100 credits with the arrival of each new post-launch hero, starting with Hawkeye. They will also receive a special Miss Marvel bundle on launch day. Will all of this exclusivity malarkey tempt players on the other platforms over to PlayStation, or will it simply encourage them to punt Marvel's Avengers from their wish list and spend their cash elsewhere? A launch date of September the 4th will hold the answer. This is still incredibly irritating. Of course, I talked about this on yesterday's show, but Spider-Man, as a character that is being held back from players on Xbox, Google Stadia, and PC, that is such a major part of the MCU that was something that was a bit jarring for me. Now, admittedly, today's news was not quite as significant, but a couple of big points are really irking me. Specifically, the community challenges that are only going to be available to PlayStation players. That seems to be something of a major point in the gameplay. On top of that, the Miss Marvel bundle. That seems to be something that is also very significant. The heroes are the focus of anything being created that is planted in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so whenever you look at all of this content being held back from the variety of platforms this game is coming out on, it feels very anti-consumer, even more so today than it did yesterday. Now again, I want to make something very clear. I won't be playing this game on PS4. I won't be playing it on PS5, nor Xbox Series X or Xbox One or PC or Stadia. I have no interest in playing Marvel's Avengers. I have not seen all of the movies. I think the last one that I saw was probably Iron Man 3. I watched a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy. Mainly I listened to the soundtrack. But I will say I still support the idea of everybody getting access to the biggest core content. Now, I don't mind exclusive outfits or exclusive cosmetics. That's perfectly fine. I totally understand that. But to lock entire characters and events in the game behind a platform does not feel very friendly to me. Not a big fan of that one. But Microsoft is needing to fight back, and PlayStation just keeps coming with the big punches, getting a lot of exclusives on the PlayStation ecosystem. But coming on September the 15th, you could have something that PlayStation does not if you play on Xbox. Microsoft has confirmed 22 launch regions for Xbox Game Pass's Project xCloud, and it's coming on September the 15th. Recently, Microsoft revealed that Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will be the vehicle for Project xCloud, Microsoft's cloud gaming streaming service, and the service will launch for real on September the 15th, 2020, with over 100 games right off the bat. Unlike Google Stadia, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate does not ask you to purchase games on its service. Instead, xCloud is giving you access to an evolving library of first and third-party games, with the promise of all Microsoft Xbox Game Studios games joining the service either on launch or soon thereafter. Today, Microsoft revealed some more details about how the service rollout will work, and it's broader than expected. Project xCloud will launch as part of the Xbox Game Pass app on Android, hitting 22 markets right out of the gate. There is still no word on when Project xCloud will hit iOS, but we expect it is Apple's draconian App Store rules that is still holding up the process there. If you are an iOS user, it might be worth grabbing one of the best Android tablets for Project xCloud to play instead. The confirmed launch markets are as follows: Austria, Belgium, Canada, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Slovakia, Spain, South Korea, Sweden, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, and the United States. The full library of games on Project xCloud remains to be seen, but Microsoft teased the following titles, and the list of Project xCloud games can be available in testing, of course, over on the link provided there. But the games that have been confirmed include Ark Survival Evolved, Bleeding Edge, Costume Quest 2, Crackdown 3 The Campaign, Destiny 2, F1 2019, Forza Horizon 4, Gears of War Ultimate Edition, Gears of War 4, Gears 5 Ultimate Edition, Grounded, Halo 5 Guardians, Halo Wars Definitive Edition, Halo Wars 2, Halo the Master Chief Collection, Halo Spartan Assault, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, Killer Instinct Definitive Edition, Max the Curse of Brotherhood, Minecraft Dungeons, The Outer Worlds, Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Quantum Break, Recore Definitive Edition, Rise Son of Rome, Sea of Thieves Anniversary Edition, State of Decay 2 Juggernaut Edition, Sunset Overdrive, Super Lucky's Tale, Tell Me Why, The Bard's Tale Trilogy, Wasteland 2 Director's Cut, Wasteland 3, Wasteland Remastered, and Yakuza Kiwami 2. In addition, Microsoft unveiled a range of new hardware from firms like PowerA, alongside known hardware giants 8-Bit Do Clip and the excellent Razer Kishi. PowerA will launch not one but two new controllers built for xCloud. One is a more traditional controller with a mount set to launch in the coming weeks, and another controller is aimed for the holiday season of 2020 and looks to be more like a Nintendo Switch-style dock for your phone. They may join the list of the best accessories for Project xCloud in the future, and they go hands-on at Windows Central if you would like to give that a look. But xCloud is how Microsoft aims to reach beyond consoles to bring more gamers into the ecosystem, and the fact that it's been added to Game Pass Ultimate is something of an incredible value value for those looking to get into the streaming space. I have been playing a lot of Project xCloud. I've tried it out on Android phones. I've tried it out on iOS. It works phenomenally, almost in a mind-boggling kind of way. I did not expect the experience to be as good as it is. But I will say that to be able to connect to your phone via Bluetooth headphones and then connect a wireless Xbox One controller is something that I never thought that I would be into, but it's something that I very well can see myself using. If I'm on vacation, if I'm in the break room at work, if I just have some minutes to kill during an idle sit at a bus stop, this is the way to go, especially with games like Halo, where you can just jump into a quick round of multiplayer. Now, this is obviously going to lend itself more to the story-based kind of experience because it's difficult to really be competitive in the multiplayer space, but it is still very fun, and I do think it competes very much so with Google Stadia. On top of that, I would even say the Nintendo Switch, but that's just me. So if you do want to dive into Xbox Game Pass's Project xCloud in full, it's coming out on September the 15th. And finally, we now have a bit more news about Call of Duty Warzone and, of course, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. As first reported by our network partners Eurogamer and verified by VGC, the next Call of Duty game will be called Black Ops Cold War and return to the historical settings of the 2010 original. The spin-off Warzone has been a huge success for Activision, amassing more than 60 million players, and according to VGC sources, the publisher sees the free-to-play shooter as the ideal platform to unveil the next premium series installment. Warzone began teasing a Cold War theme this week when players were finally able to unlock bunker doors, which had been present in the game map since launch. Players later discovered how to use in-game phone messages to unlock a secret 11th bunker, which features scenery evocative of the Black Ops series, including a war room, a number countdown, and a nuclear warhead. Data-mined game files have also uncovered models for a remote-controlled explosive car and a spy plane similar to the kill streaks featured in Black Ops. It is likely that the nuclear warhead discovered under Warzone's map will be used to trigger a map revamp, VGC was told, similar to how Fortnite used an in-game event to transition to Chapter 2. Studio sources told VGC this year that Activision has no intention of slowing down its premium Call of Duty releases, which will continue to be created under the leadership of Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer. Warzone is viewed as a third pillar alongside Call of Duty Mobile and future full-price releases, which will continue to offer a premium package of campaign, multiplayer, and zombies and Spec Ops modes going forward. Given the huge popularity of the free-to-play game, combined with the rich history of the Call of Duty franchise, it makes sense for Warzone to eventually evolve with content from outside of Modern Warfare, rather than creating a different battle royale for each sub-brand. In a recent interview, Infinity Ward's narrative director Taylor Kurosaki gave the clearest indication yet that Warzone would eventually acknowledge other Call of Duty brands, while stopping short of confirming it would integrate them like the series currently does with Call of Duty Mobile. "We are in kind of uncharted territories here," he told French publication GamerGen. "Call of Duty has been on a very regular cadence for many years, and Warzone has made us rethink exactly how best to release new content and how to integrate it. Call of Duty is a genre in itself. There are different branches in the Call of Duty tree, but they are all connected in some ways." He added, "Warzone will be the through line that connects all the different various sub-franchises of Call of Duty. It's going to be really cool to see how the different sub-franchises sort of come in and out of focus, but Warzone will be the one constant." Kurosaki added that because Activision plans to support Warzone for the long term, next-gen console versions of the game are an obvious next move. So it looks like we are going to be getting some news very soon. Also on top of that, minutes before I began recording, Treyarch and Raven announced they had been working in collaboration with each other to make this year's Call of Duty game, so more news should be arriving imminently. It's worth mentioning that I believe Season 5 in Warzone launched this week, and on top of that, a very big mid-season event was teased, so that could be our reveal. It is worth mentioning again, Call of Duty is normally unveiled in the middle of June. We are now in the beginning of August, and the game normally comes out towards the end of October or the beginning of November, which leaves us roughly September, October, about 2.5, 3 months before we really need to be seeing some kind of news, because a release is coming up in, again, roughly 2.5 to 3 months. So the next couple of weeks, you are probably going to be seeing some kind of Call of Duty. Would not be shocked to see this one unveiled and showcased during some kind of PlayStation event. Maybe even during Thursday's big PlayStation State of Play. We'll have to see where that goes. But regardless, Call of Duty Warzone is looking to be the platform in which we see what the next Call of Duty will bring. But that rounds out today's episode of the Jampack Report. If you enjoyed today's show, drop me a like down below and let me know what stories caught your eye. But until tomorrow, you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. I will talk to you soon, and peace.